Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy Saturday. This video I want to give you my Bitcoin price prediction, and I know there are a lot of price predictions and it's all speculative, nobody knows, but just based on a lot of data we can make a nice assumption of what might happen. And in the short term I'm not really going to talk too much about that, as I make a lot of videos on that, so definitely a good reason to subscribe to the FOMO Factory. Let's get it to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. For now I want to focus mainly on the long term because I like to trade. Trading is a good way to get some more cash, but as an investor I feel like, man, I just want to slowly dollar cost now. And in the next cycle, we can really benefit from that. Because when Bitcoin was at around 60, 70K, a lot of people stepped into it. But where are these people right now? Well, it's a very much better chance to buy, right? So if you watch this, you're going to make it, man. You just have to be patient. That's the only tip I can really give you. I hated it when people said it to me when I did not know enough about cryptocurrency. Like, yeah, you have to be patient. And I felt like, crypto is the only way next to robbing a bank to get rich overnight. And I don't like robbing banks. It's not my thing, right? So let's go with crypto. But it's just not how it works in the bear market. We have to be patient, right? So what's the outcome if we are actually patient? Let's take a look at that. This chart takes it back quite a while, since 2013, right? So we have a lot to base it on. Now, the first thing I would like to say for the people that wonder, like, when do you think the bull run is back? Well, that's just like the definition of a bull run, of course. But when do we see some great positive changes? I said this before, and I will keep saying this. This is the trend line we have been in since the high, right, of the last cycle. That was in November 2021, and we went down ever since. We touched it here, got rejected. We touched it here twice, got rejected, and now we are on our way to, we are nearing that trend line again. And if we extend the trend line a little bit, you'll see that if we have to break it today, we have to break around $26,000. Then I would say the trend has completely changed, and then I will start. Now I'm always long-term bullish. In the short term, I'm cautious. But when we break this trend line, I will start being way more bullish than what I am right now. But we are not there yet. We are far from there. Because it looks not a lot, but if we have to break it, it gives us around a 25% pump before we do that. 25% is a lot for Bitcoin. If that happens, altcoins will fly probably, and we see 25% on altcoins, but 25% pump on Bitcoin, I don't know. But as the line goes down, the longer time it takes, the lower the level is, of course, right? So if we have to break it, let's say the end of next month, which is the 26th of September, then we have to be around this level. So within now and a month, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen, because I think a big move is coming, because either we break this trend line or either we got rejected of this trend line. If we break it, like I said, then the trend has changed. Then we change a multiple months long trend, November up till, September by then. So that's almost a year, basically. But if we get rejected there, then every time we got rejected here, we fell down hard. We got rejected here, we fell down hard. If we get rejected here, might be that we fall down just as hard, or we hover around this trend line. We'll have to see what it does by then, because it will also mean that if we get rejected, then there will be likely a new bottom. I was a big, and I'm still a big believer in the fact that the bottom is in. There are a lot of indicators that show that the bottom is actually in for Bitcoin. But there are also a lot of indicators that show that the bottom might not be in. And I do think that people are too bearish. That a lot of people assume like 10K, like that's a number, doesn't really make sense, right? Yes, 10K is a big support level. If you look here, it should be more like around 11.5K. 10K doesn't, you know, it's a big level. Yeah, it's definitely a big level, but we have a lot to go before 10K happens. There are a lot of big, you know, support levels right there. So if that's going to happen, I don't know. I think people are maybe over bearish, but that's the same when we were at 69K. People were convinced that we're going to 100K, and that never happened as well. Also, in this small relief rally, we had people got overly bullish. I'm definitely standing behind that, because everybody was screaming. Well, everybody, a lot of people were screaming, bull run continues. And no, it's just no. It's not that with every rally, relief rally, a bull run continues. That's nonsense. If we take a look at 2017, for example, where we topped out, if you take a look right here, we went down and then we went back up again. A lot of people were screaming, oh shit, bull run continues. Nah. When we went down here and we went back up, bull run continues. When we went down here, we went back up, bull run continues. When we went down here and went back up, bull run continues. These are just as big as pumps, even bigger, as that we have just seen, right? So it's not, it's just, yeah, it's a relief rally. And at a certain point, the bull run continues, yeah. But if this is actually already the time for that, I don't know. Macro is not perfectly looking good. You could say that the DXY is making a double top right here, although I find that it's really close to each other. So is it really? We have to see, but this shit is on a bull run. So this is parabolic, man. I would definitely not buy this if I if I could buy this, right? If you ever see an altcoin chart like this, no, don't buy that, man. Don't buy that. It looks like Luna. But that's my perspective on what might happen in the short term. So keep an eye on that. Coming month will be pretty interesting, if you ask me. I hope to see that we break it, but yeah, no, more likely I think we are going to get rejected there, because the bear market, it's just not lasting long enough. When we look at previous bear markets, it lasted like a year, 2 years, 3 years. We've been in this since not even a year. And you could say that the bear market really started in April 21. If that's the case, then things are looking a lot better. But yeah, I don't know, man. We have to see. We have to see. That's some things you can just not predict. Before I get into my Bitcoin price prediction, though, because this is short, medium term, in the long term, it doesn't really matter, right? It's a great buying opportunity. Although we might come down here. We might come down here, maybe even. You know, nothing wrong with dollar costing in this area right here, knowing that we will, you know, make new highs, of course, right? But before we get into the Bitcoin price prediction, I want to warn you for something, and that's the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance is really sitting at a support level right here, almost. And if we get support right here and we will go back up, it doesn't mean very much good stuff for the, well, go back up here. We won't get back up here. But if we, you know, go back up here, it's not looking good for altcoins. Bitcoin might go sideways, but altcoins can really dump on us. So keep that in mind. Don't be, you know, I'm already dollar costing into altcoins, but therefore I'm, you know, dollar costing and not going fully into altcoins, because I believe that there will be pretty soon, within now and, well, maybe a month, that altcoins could really dump. I hope I'm wrong, that we just break the support level and we will go down. Would be nice if that's good news for Bitcoin. I don't necessarily know if that's the case, but you know, if you hold altcoins, you don't want to see this go up. So be prepared, at least. If you are overexposed to some altcoins, now might be the time to sell it for Bitcoin or even just dollars. Now, let's talk about a Bitcoin price prediction here. And let's talk about, you know, a worst case scenario, best case scenario, and something in between maybe. So if we want to do that, we want to look at previous bull runs, right? If we now look, and I just want to show you this first. Look, the thick blue line is Bitcoin price, and this, well, kind of orange line is the Bitcoin balance price. And in basically every bear market we touched, and we even went below the balance price. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. All right. So that's a good argument to say that the bottom might not be in. Although I don't think every time has to do the same thing. But apart from the fact if the bottom is in or not, we are at least very close to the bottom. I think that everybody agrees on that. If the bottom not or if isn't already in, I still think it is, but you know, I'm trying to consider more and more and more that I might be wrong about that. But there are a lot of indicators right here. Look into Bitcoin.com, or you can check out Glassnode for the on-chain data. And it at least shows that we are very low at the moment. And there is a lot of upside potential. I think we all know that, right? So yeah, if some people start talking about Bitcoin in hundreds of thousands of dollars, it sounds like, it sounds to you maybe like it's so unrealistic. It sounds just as unrealistic when people here at $2 talked about $1,000 Bitcoin, or when people here at $200 talked about a $20,000 Bitcoin, or when people here about a $3,000 Bitcoin talked about a $70,000 Bitcoin, right? So at a $20,000 Bitcoin, a $200,000, $400,000 Bitcoin sounds just as unrealistic, but it is just as realistic. It's, you know what I mean? So you have to be prepared for that as well, because the people that really FOMO and lose money are the people that are here not prepared for what's about to happen here, right? At least consider the fact that Bitcoin might be worth $1 million in a, I don't know, decade, something like that. So let's write some shit down, okay? Let's start. It's not the really beginning. We have 2011. I don't have to, well, maybe the BLX, by the way. I think this takes it furthest back. Yeah, this is okay. This is a good one. So let's talk about the cycles that Bitcoin went through, how much it gained from the bottom to the top. There's an average, right? Let's take the average and let's take the best case scenario and the worst case scenario to find out what's realistic for Bitcoin. So this is basically around the area where Bitcoin started. So from what price do you have to take it, right? Well, I felt like, okay, this is where people really, because this was already a pump like crazy, right? I mean, Bitcoin, it started at around, well, what was it? 3 cents, and it went all the way up to $1. So when you look at that, this is already one of the biggest bull runs we had in Bitcoin, right? And then you know what happened after that. It's crazy, right? So but let's take it for the first one from the moment we started pumping, right, into the complete, you know, bull run. So in that case, let's take it from around 80 cents up till here, which is 4,000%. That's a 40x on Bitcoin. So let me take this one so it doesn't delete it. 40x on Bitcoin in the first cycle. Cool. What happened in the second cycle? We have to find out what the low was, and the low was obviously here, right? That was, sorry for that, I can't read it because of that stupid thing. That was $2. Okay, cool. Let's take it from $2 to where it went in the cycle after that. So I can't even, it's just this or this. Let's, you can see. Let's take it from $2.30. Okay, $2.30. That's 111, 110%, 100, God fuck. This is 100x, give or take, 110x. All right, that's crazy. Then we have a new cycle right here. It was, looked like this was the pre-pump, man. It was absolutely fucking insane what Bitcoin did right there. But cool, again, from the bottom, which was around here, right? That was exactly $65. Can you imagine? $65 Bitcoin. To the top, 1,700%. So that's a 17x for Bitcoin. Then it was dead for a long time, right? Oh, Bitcoin dead. Nobody talks about it anymore. This is where I got out of Bitcoin. I saw that $800. I thought, yeah, I did a 2x. Nice. Let go of it. And then it was boring for a long time, man. We went into the bear market like, yeah, give or take mid-April or mid-2014 up till mid-2017. So this was 3 years of boring, like really boring. The low was here, sitting at $163. So let's take it from around there to the 2017 top. Again, 110x. Absolutely insane, man. Then the new low was, well, let's say here, which was $3,200. And that takes us to the last cycle we have witnessed so far. So let's take $3,200, which is around here, up till our, you know, famous 70K. So that's another 20x for Bitcoin. So these are the pumps that Bitcoin has experienced so far. So we got a 40x, 110x. You can't see the screen, but I'm working on it right now. Don't worry. We got a 17x. We got another 110x, and we got a 20x, right? If we divide this by 5, the amount of times that happened, on average, Bitcoin did a 60x from the top to the bottom, all right? 60x in every cycle, from the bottom to the top, right? You don't make a 60x, right? I mean, you won't buy the exact bottom and you won't sell the exact top. But then again, you can if you are very good. So that's what Bitcoin, the opportunity is there at least. So there's an average of 60x, right? All right. Now, this is going to sound fucking unbelievable, but this is the average, okay? We witnessed 110x even, so this is not that unthinkable. So if we take, give or take, our bottom and we want to do a 60x from there, I can't even do this. It's like my screen is like, dude, this is not doable. So 60x, give or take, puts Bitcoin around $1 million, right? It sounds like, dude, Fomotion, what the fuck are you talking about? $1 million Bitcoin. I'm just showing you the average moves right here. I just showed you everything, right? So this is the average. So, yeah, it looks like, whoa, but this is far more than this. Yeah, it's like zooming, like, okay, this looks a lot more than this as well, while this was a bigger pump than this, right? So, okay, so that puts it around $1 million. Okay, cool. But what if the bottom is not the bottom that we have just discussed, right? What if the bottom what if the bears are right? What if the bottom is 10K? Okay, in that case, it's 60x from 10K. Then it's still $600,000 for Bitcoin. $600,000, right? Could happen. And even let's assume that the worst case scenario, right? That 10K will be the bottom. And that we don't do the average of 60x. But let's say we do the average of less time, 20x, right? Still, that puts Bitcoin at $200,000. It sounds like Bitcoin at $200,000. It's only 3x since its previous cycle, right? A lot of more institutions stepping in, a lot of more like retail knows about crypto right now, right? I feel like in the next run, like the previous run, when people, like everybody I know, like they're usually not involved in crypto, they started talking about crypto, right? So they started FOMOing in. I think now people have much more awareness of crypto, or more people have awareness of crypto. So in the next cycle, probably a lot more people are stepping in. Plus the institutions, plus the products are just better. Plus the supply is more scarce. It doesn't sound like that unrealistic to me. So 200K Bitcoin, around that, yeah, it's doable. It's doable. Best case scenario, which I don't expect, but just putting out the scenarios right here, Bitcoin did a 110x twice. Okay, let's make it 100. And let's say that the bottom was indeed 17K. That puts Bitcoin at $1.7 million, all right? In the next cycle. That somehow, that sounds super unrealistic to me. But it happened before. Again, it happened before. Again, here, when Bitcoin was around $180 and something like that, right? And someone would have told you, like, okay, but in the next cycle, Bitcoin will be $20,000. Every fucking body would, send you to a mental clinic. Everybody. Same as the other cycle where Bitcoin did 110x, right here, right? What was it again? Let me zoom in. It's just to give you some perspective on that. What sounds unrealistic might not be that unrealistic, right? So the bottom here was, what was it? Around $2, right? So can you imagine someone, Bitcoin being at $2? $2, like, and that's what you used to, like $2. That's it for Bitcoin. Someone comes at you and says like, yo, but bro, in a few months, few years, you know, next cycle, Bitcoin won't be $2, will be $270. You will be like, dude, fuck off, go fuck off. Like, no, it's why, based on what? That's not logical, right? That's not realistic. That's never going to happen. Well, in fact, $200 went to $60,000 at the end of the day, right? So yeah, it's like, okay, zoom out, patience, and these crazy price predictions of $200,000 and $2 million are not that crazy. But let's assume the worst. Bitcoin goes to $200,000. Oh, damn, so low, right? Still, that's a 10x from here. Can you imagine what good quality alt's going to do? So in that case, I feel like, yeah, the bottom might be in, the bottom might not be in. What's wrong with dollar costing in this area? 20K, 25K, 15K, whatever. When you know that worst case scenario, it's very likely and very on average, it's even below average that Bitcoin at least go to $200,000, right? It's a 10x from here. If Bitcoin goes to $200,000, by the way, like I said, it's a 10x. What did Bitcoin do? It did a 40x, it did a 110x, it did a 17x, it did a 110x, and it did a 20x. So it will be the worst cycle ever if it goes to 200K. It will be the worst so far. While every institution is stepping into it, while the whole world is starting to know about it and getting convinced about it, and while people are learning a lot more, while people are, you know, seeing these YouTube videos, seeing people talk about it, understand crypto, and don't be like when we were here, like people didn't really had that, right? So it was just riding the hype, you know. If come on, man, like people are now, they now know, like, okay, maybe we should not sell it that fast, right? Even when you bought, even imagine if you bought Bitcoin at around $70 and it went to $300, dude, you would have sold 100%. But still, it went to $1,100. There's people FOMOing in, right? I feel like, man, that's just hype. That was just purely hype, and a couple of people that really believed and understood the Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper and believed in it. Now people are really starting to be convinced, like, damn, this is a replace. We have dollar, we have euros, we have Bitcoin, we have yen. I don't know, right? So it's just a perspective, but that's basically what I'm looking at right now. So yeah, in the short term, you might get a little wrecked if you make the wrong choices. So I also saw someone on the channel saying like, should I sell my Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, I think it was, right now and buy back in later? Depends, man, what you're doing it for. If you want to do it for the short-term gains, then you might want to consider like, okay, maybe, but what did you buy it for, right? If you sell it now, are you in profit? If you, right? So there's a lot of things to consider. But if you feel like, it's for the longer term, I mean, for the long term, you would be you're an idiot if you sell here, unless you were so convinced that it goes back here that you sell it here and buy back in here. But nobody knows that this is going to happen, right? Nobody knows if Bitcoin is going to 15K, 16K, 14K, 10K. That's pure speculation. I wouldn't base my, like, so I'm trying to be 50% cash, 50% crypto, but that's me. So yeah, that's kind of it for now. Oh yeah, and one other thing to put it a little bit in perspective, if we take a look at the stochastic RSI and we put this on a monthly, I've shown you this before, but this is some perspective you want to have right here. Every time we are in this area right here, this oversold RSI, don't get me wrong, we can stay here a long time still and go down. But overall, if we are here, the outcome is always that you should have bought here, you should have sold here. You should have bought here, should have sold here. You see what the prices were. You should have buy here, you should sell when we are up. So long term, crypto, I would be completely surprised if Bitcoin if 60K was the top, right? That like wouldn't make no sense at all. I don't think there's anybody in crypto that thinks otherwise, by the way. So yeah, when it comes to long term, man, just dollar cost and you'll be fine. I want to leave it here for now. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, push the subscribe button. Small effort. I think like 33% is subscribed. So you are probably not subscribed, sir. Go ahead, man. Join the fam. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.